We're also the job issue. From what I understand, this is going to create tons of good-paying jobs, and that's something else you dispute here.
I will say this, that um, most of the jobs are not going to be the good paying jobs to the community. One is, if you were looking at the array of jobs, dealers make the highest. They're saying dealers are going to be making about 55,000, or no, they're going to come in making 25,000. The Bureau of Land Labor Standards says that the nation average is 15,000. Then that's plus tips. So if they come in and they're making say even 25,000. How many people do you know that are dealers that live in our areas? You know, around, you know, anywhere in the state of Maryland. How many dealer schools do you have? And in order to become a dealer, you got to spend your own money to become a dealer and pray that you get a job. It's not like you're going to become a nurse, or you're going to become a landscaper and you can go any place and get a job. You can only go to casinos to get a job to become a dealer. So you may be out of $1,000, $500, whatever it costs, in hopes that you're going to get this job, and you're never going to get this job. A lot of the jobs that I have seen in my experience with casinos are going to go to security guards. They're going to go to the people who do the housekeeping, and all of these are low-paying jobs that are not going to provide a livable wage. Yes, there's going to be some good jobs, but those good jobs are going to require the experience that the people around here just don't have,
Or they would have to spend money to get.
or they would have to spend the money to get.
As everybody looks at these campaigns, whether it's for or against gambling, they see a lot being spent on these campaigns. They see your ads, they see the for ads, and there's a ton of money coming from out of state for this. Does this also, for many people, realize that the stakes here are that there's a lot of people paying attention that are going to benefit that don't live in Maryland?
Well, I will say this, that there's only one donor that I know that is spending loads of money, that doesn't have any interest in Maryland whatsoever, and that's MGM. Penn National has an interest in Maryland, and they are a donor for the ballot initiative. But what they have allowed the ballot initiative to do is enfold all of these groups that did not and would not have had a voice. It's in the last election when we had this, you had a lot of groups that did not have the kind of money that it's going to take to fight against somebody like for the casinos. Uh, the more money that MGM is putting out there, that would not have allowed, say, the churches to have a voice. That would not have allowed that individual who lives at National Harbor who didn't know how I was going to fight against that to have a voice. That would not have allowed the homeowners associations to have a voice. But under our ballot initiative, which we strictly stick to get out the facts, these people have a voice, because the one thing that we all have in common is that we ask people to vote no.
And that's the thing, is being able to, like you said, make that smaller voice heard, because it would, I mean, Prince George's County just, 2 years ago didn't want a casino, didn't want to have anything to do with gambling, and now it's changed.
Well, I'll tell you, Prince George County until January 16th said no. All of a sudden, it was yes. And a lot of the people in the surrounding area is still wondering what happened, because National Harbor came to us when they first decided that they were going to build in the neighborhood, and they said, while they were trying to get the votes, that we're going to be a good neighbor. We're going to build a family-friendly oriented resort. And now I've read, well, because of the economy, we'll sail you down the river.
And that's what people, and that's how a lot of people feel.
That is how a lot of people feel. Because, like I said in the beginning, if we have a casino that is placed at National Harbor, the cost is going to be great. And the cost is going to go through so many different lines of what is going to happen. I've had people who've already told me that should they build a casino, they're going to put their house up for sale.
They don't want any part of it.
They don't want any part of it. They're going to be gone. And what kind of economic development can we have? You know, when we look at that area and our proximity to Washington, D.C., we should be looking at some type of economic development like they're having at St. Elizabeth, where they're bringing in all of these jobs for Homeland Security, where Microsoft has announced that they're going to be at the St. Elizabeth complex. If we're looking at something, let's look at developing our community into becoming a bedroom community, a walkable community, a sustainable community where people will want to come live. And by people coming to want to live in that area, that increases the home value. And we can build more stores that would support more jobs instead of this one single ideal that if we don't build a casino, we are not going to have anything. That's not true. We sell ourselves short.